I've just picked a whole load of wild herbs, and we're gonna do the most incredible kebabs, okay?
My barbecued lamb kebabs with juicy pancetta, fresh herbs and crunchy bread is a cracking feasting dish perfect for a shindig in the sunshine.
I want to kind of have a combination of simple things that all help each other. So for that, I've got leg of lamb, an amazing cut. We've got the liver and kidneys as well. What I want to do is, instead of big old chunks, when I grew up actually having kebabs, not that it's wrong, sort of cut into big chunks like that. And I kind of want to sort of go against that. I want little slithers, okay? Little random cuts. Just think mouthful, and we'll skewer those up, and they'll be fantastic. Now let's talk about the offal. I definitely want to really wafer thin cut the liver and the kidneys. And even if you think you're not into that, like, you just got to bear with me and trust me, because this is going to give authenticity and flavour to this whole kebab. Then we've got some pork, some beautiful pancetta. This fat here is going to really take care of your lamb while it cooks. So the idea is you want this thing cooking over coals, right? And as it's kind of charring and going caramelised, the fats are melting, and everything you want to flavour each other.
And to soak it all up, slice some crusty bread to match the size of your meat.
Think like the best croutons you've ever had in your life. It's going to be great.
Then onto the marinade, made with beautiful fresh herbs, oregano, thyme and sage. Now just add salt and black pepper and a couple of crushed garlic cloves.
To really bash it up to a little paste. It'll look like nothing, but it will give everything. And then it comes to life with a good couple of tablespoons of vinegar and about twice as much olive oil.
Just give it a whirl.
Oh, you could put that over grilled vegetables. You could have that on little crostinis. My Lord, on roasted birds. That's a really good technique for anything. So let's go in with the meat into a bowl, the herbs, the offal. We're going to throw it all in.
And mix it all up with a load of beautiful fresh bay leaves.
And then we're going to dress it in this heavenly little marinade.
If you marinate this for an hour, it'll be delicious. But if you do it overnight, it's out of this world.
So now's the fun bit. You can make up your little kebabs. So a bit of lamb, bit of herb, a little bit of bread. It's going to suck up that flavour. Next to the bread, let's put the pancetta. It's going to be so good. Load it up. I think this is really good fun. I mean, I think you can do big ones, small ones. So look, there's my one done.
Gennaro's boiled some potatoes for one belter of a side dish.
Whack it down there, mate.
Yeah.
So look, I wanted to do mashed potato, and I think it's an interesting one because a lot of people say that's not Italian, that's very British to have mashed potato. Absolute rubbish. Yes. The Italians, they love potatoes. So check this out. This is mashed potato, Italian style. They use these rices, but of course you can use a masher, no trouble at all. So Gennaro, talk us through mashed potato Italian style.
Well, so easy. You can use pecorino cheese or Parmesan cheese.
So pecorino is a sheep's cheese, and it's tangy and it's delicious, and you can use it just like Parmesan, but...
Some parsley on top, olive oil.
So we use olive oil, just like butter, extra virgin olive oil.
There it goes.
And then watch the old master at work. Italian mashed potato. It's delicious.
Mash done, get your kebabs on the barbie.
So look, I'm just going to take care of these little skewers. And we want to spend 10 minutes just really making this golden and gorgeous. I was thinking about a little something to go, just a little kiss of something over this with the mash.
I know what you want. You want some lovely peppers.
Yes.
Flash fry some dried peppers in a splash of olive oil for 30 seconds.
And you can just crush them. And they'll be like little sort of shards of sweetness. So look at that. So then put some of that lovely oil over the top. Little flecks of those chili peppers, let them just fall off, Gennaro. Go on.
My mighty lamb kebabs, marinated in those fragrant herbs with juicy pancetta, crunchy sweet peppers, and propped up by a bed of rich, fluffy, Italian-style mashed potato.
You can kind of carve it at the table. and it all starts to just fall apart. And look.
Oh my.
Mashed potato with a difference. A kebab with attitude. Simple ingredients, but put together with love.
Look at that beautiful tuna. Obviously, we never knew we were going to get that, and that's an opportunity of a lifetime. I'm just going to quickly fillet a piece of this tuna off. I can't say I've ever had the pleasure of doing this. I'm going to run my knife down the spine. You wait till you see the colour inside this baby. Right in the middle, and then right down this back spine here. You just wait. It's such an incredible, I mean, the tuna's such an incredible fish. Some of them are quite endangered now, but these ones, this is basically what we call a skipjack back home in England. Talk about being nice. The old Greeks, you know, the fishermen just gave us this. So I'm just going to wash this. And then I'm going to simply prepare it. Now, simple cooking of fish. People are so scared to cook fish properly. I'm going to get a nice little steak. If I go too thin, I'm going to miss the point. I'm going to go about 1 inch thick. I'm going to do one for me. All I'm going to do is season it with salt and pepper, right? Pat it with a little oil all over. And you won't get, I will never ever try tuna as fresh as this, probably for the rest of my life. Just going to season that from a height. Now, when you've got fresh tuna, right, often chefs cook it pink, right, or slightly underdone. And absolutely, I think that's the right thing to do. Although, if you're not into that, I'd say try it, because you get that silkiness, you get that delicateness that you won't get. If you cook it all the way through, it's like tin tuna, do you know what I mean? And, you know, if you're not into it, then you can cook it through. But this, I mean, what a lovely life in Greece, to be able to get a little boat, just rock up, light a little barbecue, grill a bit of fish. Fantastic. That won't take any time to cook at all. I'm going to make a lemon sauce. Now, it's funny the way they call it a lemon sauce. I mean, I look at it almost like a dressing. Just squeeze it through your fingers into the bowl. You want the lemon to come through, so I go almost 50-50 oil and lemon juice. Okay. Pinch of salt again. And oregano. Let's have a look at these tuna. You can see the heat sort of starting to affect the fish. Right, so we've got the lemon sauce. We've got this beautiful tuna just grilling away. You know, if you want to know if it's cooked or not, just flake it. I really see that little bit of rawness there, right? I would take it off the grill now. I really would. Oh my Lord. Tastes like steak. That is so good. With this tuna. Get some of that lovely Greek lemon sauce with that wonderful oregano. That lemon juice is going to mix with all the juices that will come out of that tuna. Absolutely, you want to dip your bread in there afterwards, I'm telling you. I quite like the idea of just, you know, squeezing a tomato just over the top. Just squeeze it. I mean, just for that lovely sweetness. You can let it fall off, you know, onto the plate. No big deal. But I love the simplicity of that. Just leave it nice and hot. Put them on here. Get yourself one of these grilled tomatoes. Rub that tomato into the bread like this. And then I'm going to finish it with those lovely greens. Right, I've got these lovely bitter greens now. I've just boiled them and then just fried them with a little oil and onions. And I'm going to season those with that crazy, crazy, salty, hard cheese that priest gave to me. What I learned from him is that, you know, when it gets hard like this,
they use these cheese, much like the Italians do with Parmesan, not so much as a cheese, but as a kind of seasoning. So I'm going to grate this over the top, just a little, and instead of putting salt on it, I'm going to put this wonderful cheese, and actually it's hitting the heat, and it's doing quite interesting things. Lovely. Mix that up, a little bit of lemon juice, and I'm just going to have some of these wonderful mountain greens. Really nice. Just finish it with a little olive oil. There you go. You got those lovely crostini done on the barbecue, a little bit smoky, with the barbecue tomatoes, the greens, that little bit of cheese. I'm going to put a little bit more cheese just on top. Look at that. Brilliant. Serve it with half a lemon. You know, I've got my little addiction in life, my chilies that will be eaten just by me. Look at that, you've got the lovely crostini with the wild greens, the tuna, the best tuna I'll probably ever have, with that brilliant Greek lemon sauce. But look at it, look at the tuna. It's such a beautiful country, the food is so delicious. And you know, the whole thing about Greek cooking, the simplicity, the olive oil, the citrus fruits, the herbs, the greens, loving them all but keeping it simple. Like, yeah, I dig it, it's brilliant. Right, so I've got my herbs. I'm gonna make a beautiful barbecue sauce. Barbecue sauce is generally sort of ribs, you know, chicken thighs maybe. And I suppose I just wanna show you that it can be a lot more. You can barbecue sauce anything. So, you know, I've got a whole leg of lamb. There ain't no mucking about with that, is there? I've got the ribs, absolutely, because they're a winner, aren't they? I've got a chicken that I've basically just cut down the carcass. You can use a pair of scissors if you want, and opened it out like a book. So what we do is we get a knife and we very crudely cut through the thigh and the leg right to the bone. That way it will let the heat in and the flavour of the barbecue sauce in, and it will give you some nice crispy bits around the leg. With the lamb, what I'm going to do is score about 1 centimetre deep from the top to the bottom. And again, this is to create sort of more surface area, and but also when you cook it, it's going to kind of concertina out, and you're going to get the flavour in these little bits here. So you get that lovely crispy outside, flavour in there, and obviously the meat towards the bone will be much more sweet and silky. So I'm going to use about 4 or 5 cloves that I'm just going to put in the pestle and mortar. Right, really important spice in this. I want about a teaspoon heaped of cumin. So get that in there. I want about 2 tablespoons of fennel seeds. Right, lovely and fragrant, really good with red and white meats. And then I want a big generous sort of teaspoon of black pepper and 2 or 3 teaspoons of salt. Now what I want to do is just bash all of that up, crack it. The thing is, there's nothing quite like doing this when you bash up spices. You know, if you buy it already sort of pre-ground, they're sort of stale, like when you have a packet of cereal open for a couple of weeks and it just tastes miserable. Right, I'm absolutely fine with a few whole ones, cracked ones, right? That's what we're sort of looking for. Nice sort of floury spice base there, dead simple. Now, let's get the chicken out. To get your spices in there, I want to get a bit of herbage going. I want a big handful of rosemary, good with all the meats, fantastic. I've got bay leaves, sort of 10 or so nice fresh bay leaves in there like that. And then I want to get some thyme, pull all those lovely tips off, get them in there. And then garlic, a whole bulb, and then I want the zest of 1 orange, just peel it off. Brilliant flavour in the orange. And just chop it up. Not bothered about some big bits, not bothered about the skin, right, because it's all going to fall off on the barbecue, and it would have done its work by then. Pick it up, in there, with the bay and the fennel seeds. Great, great flavours. Smoked paprika, bit of a win-win as far as your barbecue's concerned. I want 4 heaped teaspoons in there. That lovely smoked paprika gives it that completely different dimension, which is brilliant. And then I want to use half a bottle of cheap balsamic vinegar. Right, what I need to add to that is my orange juice. Squeeze in that orange juice. And then, this is where it all starts getting a little bit touchy for me. Get your organic ketchup and put a whole bottle in. You can put passata in there or whizzed up tin tomatoes if you want, but it just hasn't got the stickiness and the clagginess. And then all I've got to add to that is extra virgin olive oil, about 8 tablespoons. What I love about this is using the cloves, the fennel seeds, the cumin, the smoked paprika, the lovely fragrance of bay, rosemary, thyme. You know, this is what's making something really beautiful. And when you're eating it, sort of, the flavours are changing in your mouth. Let's have a little taste. It's really good. So all I have to do now is rub it, give it a really good rubbing. And that's what flavour's all about. Get that in there. Right, we're not mucking about, straight in there. Get your fingers in there and sort of massage it about. And then the next one is the chicken. Get that sauce and rub it all over, under the legs, the breasts, the wings. Turn it around. Lovely. And then we've got our ribs, which just need to be literally turned over. And you know, that ketchup, dare I say, it just gives it that consistency of like, stick to me, baby. So what I want to do is cook these for an hour and a quarter. That means that the flavour really permeates, and then also it's a job done, a job out the way. You can get on with drinking beer and lighting barbecues, and rest assured that when you do put that in the barbecue and it's gone golden crisp, there's none of this kind of is it cooked, isn't it cooked. All I have to do now, tin foil up. So the tip is, put this in an oven for about an hour and a quarter at about 180. I'll come back to it. I'm going to go and light the barbecue. Brilliant. Right, barbecue's cool. Got my lovely meat out of the oven. I've gone for it and I've dug a little trench and I've got this spit roast. I'm not sure if it's going to work or not. And then over here, you need to control the heat. Like, you can't just go, you know, when you cook food on the hob, a gas hob or a roasting oven, you don't just put it on full whack all the time, do you? So what I do to control it is I get my coals and I have a few scattered coals here, and then I push it up to a pile here, right? And that's your really searing, fast, hot, you know, little thin steaks, couple of minutes. And then things like sausages, you can start there for 45 seconds and then just move them into the middle and then just move them down to the slightly cooler end. And that way you have crisp on the outside, nice and golden and cooked through. So hot, cool. Doesn't matter what barbecue you got, tall to low coals, and then you're in control, right? Okay, before I get into the meat, I'm going to show you a quick little recipe. Get a little cross, cut 3/4 of the way down into an onion, open it up, put a little bit of rosemary, thyme in there, and then just a little wodge of butter, like that, and a pinch of salt, pepper, bit of tin foil, wrap it up like a jacket potato, straight in the ashes, and it'll be delicious. And then also, just because you're barbecuing doesn't mean you can't steam or boil. You get yourself some nice greens. Why wouldn't you want some nice greens when you're having a barbecue? Rip them up, get a little bit of tin foil, just fold it over like this, fold it over like that, and give it a good pinch. And what you're left with is like sort of a charred envelope. And then in there, salt, pepper, a bit of olive oil, right? Shake it all about. Get yourself some lemon, put the whole lemons in there as well, and then just close up and pinch in. That'll go onto the barbecue, and after about 4, possibly 5 minutes, turning it over, that'll steam and wilt, and it'll be delicious. And then my meat here, which smells and looks incredible, all I do is dip it in the sauce and the marinade and put it on the barbie. And the same for this one here, on the barbie. With my chicken, exactly the same. We'll look after that. We've got this juice here. I want to pour all this juice. Look, all that lovely resting juice that's come out of all those different meats. Now, I want to try my spit roast. I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know, it might be too big. I'm so excited. This one goes in. Right, so that stabs into it. So you've got a little bit of traction control there. And then I want to put this in. Please work, please work, please work. Otherwise it was a waste of my excitement. Ah, oh, it's hot. It's working. Look at it. That has completely made my day. Now, see all that lovely juice that's come out? Let's have a little taste. Now, you can put that on the fire if you want, and that'll start to reduce down a little bit. You get this, and you just pat this on the meat. And things might burn and they might tear, but just keep turning that baby. And look, you've got a burnt, charred bit there. What do? We pat it again. That's where it's all at. As far as this lamb's concerned, he can have a little bit of a baste up as well. Look at that. And the lovely thing about rotisserieing, but as it turns, you know, you have the ability to be able to sort of, you know, brush it with flavours. Whew. Let's get some chicken action going. Chicken. Yep. Cut that thigh up. Just get it in there. The meat, before we even started blackening it, was melt in your mouth, fall off the bone. Cut it in half, and then into a chod. Incredible colour. Just drizzle, bit of oil, tiny squeeze of lemon, with a few little bits of fresh parsley. That's only just a start, of course, because we got barbecued ribs. The ribs are an absolute joy. Look at that. Right, I know I can just pull that lovely meat. That'll come off. Delish. Just going to cut down the ribs. You can do double ribs, single ribs. There we go. Just cut it all up, hack it up. Just layer your ribs up like that. And ribs, you know, they're not subtle, delicate things. You know, they are what they are. Just love them for it. I've got my greens here, which have had about 5 minutes, I guess. And look in there, what a sight. Spinach, handful of rocket, watercress, you know, some Swiss chard. Beautiful. Oh, the onions. Now, let's see if I've done all right on these. Oh. All right, I'm guilty. I burnt it. To be honest, I should have left the skin on. But we take off that completely burnt outside, and inside here, that is an onion. And I will give that to Mr. Chicken Plate, and that's delicious. You won't have better onions than that. And then the only thing I've got to do now is my lamb. Looks amazing. Absolutely amazing. All right, let's have a little go. It's too good. See, it's slightly blushing in the middle. It's had an hour and a quarter in the oven, been on the rotisserie for 20 minutes, and it's still got a lovely blush. Absolutely brilliant. Look at that, man. Look at the juices. That is too good. That has made my culinary year. Okay, right, how cool is this? I want to cook some kebabs on the rooftop, looking at that, one of the most iconic buildings in the world, the Acropolis. Brilliant. Here, I've got a bunch of chili peppers. Some are hot, some are sweet. I've just blackened them up. By blackening these little babies, you intensify the flavour of the pepper, you sweeten it, the skin will come off and leave you with the most incredible flavour. So I'm just going to put it under this tablecloth here. I've got this lovely piece of pork here. It's kind of like the shin cut of pork, and I'm literally just going to slice it up into little pieces, just over 1 centimetre thick. I'm going to slice it across about 2 centimetre dice. I think there's a bit of a lesson to be learnt from the Greeks, actually. I think this whole kind of simple cooking, simple flavours is really interesting. So, just wash my hands. I'm going to marinate these little babies using dried herbs. And you know what? For years and years, I used to look at the supermarket, you know, because I'm well into my herbs, love me fresh herbs, but I'd go around the supermarkets and I'd look at dried mint and I'd think it was a bit like naff. But I'm going to give it a go. I've never really used it before, so I've scrunched my bunch here. And then I've got the oregano, scrunch a bit there. Some pepper, some salt. You know, ideally I'd let this marinate for like 3 hours, 6 hours overnight, get the flavours really going in there. Lemon juice goes in. 1 lemon for a kilo of meat like this is probably fine. Nice Greek olive oil. Just enough to coat it. And then a couple of cloves of garlic. I'm just going to use a grater to do this. Just stick to it at one corner. You could do it in a pestle and mortar, but I'm going to use that in a minute for some more garlic. Scrunch that up. Right, so I've got my meat here. Just load it up on a skewer. When I did history, my teacher, Mr. Nash, I got an ungraded in history, just so you know. I did it on the Acropolis. I just can't believe that all these years later I'm cooking on a rooftop where I'm staying, looking at that phenomena. And I'm sort of feeling the Greek love, actually, I've got to be honest. And I'll tell you why, because back in the day, I didn't really care about history. I just wanted to get a bunk up. And like, I didn't care that that building was like, God knows how many thousand years old. And, you know, since I've been in Greece, I've already found out that this barbecue here that I'm using right now, you know, predates, predates that building, do you know what I mean? This is their mobile cooking unit. They even had ones with a little dome over it for flatbreads or some kind of pizzeria type thing. And, you know, all of a sudden I'm thinking, well, like, history's quite cool now. Right, I'm going to put these straight on the grill. I'll just give them a twiddle every now and again. They'll take about 7.5 minutes to cook, I reckon. So these peppers, they've just steamed a little bit, and then you take most of the blackness off. If there's a few bits in there, it doesn't matter. There's a bit of flavour in there. Obviously, too much of the black and it doesn't become flavour, it becomes burntness. And then just take the seeds out. The cooking on charcoal, I think, is actually 1/3 of the flavour in this dish, so don't underestimate it. And I'm going to use the fresh herbs with this chili dish I'm doing to go with the kebabs, just to sort of like spring a bit of flavour in there and a bit of freshness. And I'm sort of making this up really. I'm going to roll the fennel and mint up in a ball and just finely slice it like that. And then all I'm going to do is just tear these chilies into strips like this. And obviously, if there's ones that you know are hotter, you can tear them into sort of smaller bits and distribute them a bit. Put that in the middle there. I'm going to put the herbs in the middle there as well. I'm going to hit it with what I think is the right amount of salt. It doesn't need pepper because it is already going like the clappers. Red wine vinegar. Probably, you know, for that amount of chilies, it's probably a couple of tablespoons. Little bit of olive oil. I'm just going to just dress it. And you can apply that to something that you'd put on top of a frittata, a pizza. You could put that on a crostini with a bit of mozzarella and a salad. But let's have a little taste up here. It should be like, oh yeah. That's good. Oh, it's got some heat as well. Sweet and heat. How are these going? Oh, come on. See what I'm doing with these kebabs? I'm really trying to love them and take care of them and look for the paler bits going on the bottom to get the heat. So, pork skewers, bit of love there. Peppers and chilies, bit of love there, big flavours, really fresh. And then tzatziki. Get yourself 1 cucumber or 2 of these little babies. Just grate it. There you go. Some grated cucumber. Right, what I want to do there is season that cucumber. Pick it up in a handful and just squeeze that excess water out. You want about the same amount of yoghurt as cucumber. And then garlic. I prefer to be a bit subtle on the garlic. I'm going to use 1 clove, right? Put your salt in, put the garlic in, and just smash it up. And I really think that, you know, by smashing up the garlic and the salt like this, it makes it sort of slightly sweeter. And actually what you could do is actually put some of that dried mint in there. That's never going to hurt. So in with that garlic. And also, you know, when you start mixing this up and tasting it, you know, you tweak it to your personal preference. Give that mint a mix up. You want to hit it with just enough red wine vinegar to give it a little kick.
you know. And again, it's about tasting it. Think about it. Get the salt right. Beautiful. Right, tzatziki's done. There you go. Look at those. They're nice little kebabs. They're cute. Just give them a nice little squeeze of lemon juice, a little extra seasoning and salt, a little bit of olive oil on that tzatziki, just to sort of fold it through. Right, so I've got my flatbread here. Let's plate this little baby up. I've got the beautiful skewer. Just going to push that onto the flatbread, like so. Beautiful. Going to take some of this lovely chili and pepper and just put that over it like that. Just one nice dollop of that amazing homemade tzatziki. I tell you what, it tastes so different when you do it properly, and the dried mint is wicked. And then I'm gonna take the liberty of putting some extra paprika over it just to give it that hit. Okay, and then a little bit of lemon juice. Look at that. Really, really chuffed with that. I mean, like, every single thing that we cooked here was dead simple, simple kebab, simple sort of flavourings on the chilies and the peppers. The tzatziki was dead easy. But, you know, it's a little assembly of beautiful things. And that, around someone's house, load of beers, cook your own kebab, would be just wicked. Absolutely wicked.
Me and Gennaro are going to cook the most delicious squid dish inspired by Nonna Franchina.
Yes.
How good was that?
She was unbelievable.
This grilled squid with a lively caper salsa is super easy and guaranteed to get those taste buds zinging.
Of course, we're bigging up capers, mint, anchovies, lemon juice, olive oil. How should we describe it? It's kind of like an Italian salsa, cum sauce, cum dressing. Fair?
Yeah, fair.
Gennaro's going to get a couple of lemons and he's going to squeeze it into this bowl. And this platter is going to kind of serve a purpose because everything that comes off of that grill is going to get tossed through this bowl to really capture every single bit of flavour that we put on there.
Come on, squeeze it, squeeze it!
Top up the juice of 2 lemons with the same amount of extra virgin olive oil. Throw in 3 cloves of chopped garlic and a fresh chilli.
Now, the nice thing is if garlic's one of the first ingredients to go in, the lemon juice kind of starts to pickle the garlic a little bit, takes the kind of heat out of it. The next ingredient will be the ingredient of the island, capers. The flavour's amazing, isn't it?
It is in this, goes almost for everything.
In the base of fish or meat stews, fantastic. They often come in brine. I think the ones in salt are the best, don't you?
They're the best indeed. Look, I got some inside here. This is what actually look like.
Wow, look how amazing that is. So that's the caper flower. Truly beautiful. And these leaves are very good as well. They can be pickled.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And they're delightful. And there's the berries. So, of course, you can let them get bigger or smaller. Isn't it amazing to see them in the place where they come from?
Yeah.
Capers preserved in salt like these ones need a little soak and rinse.
Right, put them into some fresh water and let them sit for an hour, and then you can squeeze the salt out. When the excess salt comes out,
So good.
you get the perfume. Look at those.
Little pearl from the islands.
And then Gennaro is just going to lightly chop them.
Next, mash our 4 anchovies to give the salsa an amazing depth of flavour. And for texture, I'm adding a handful of chopped pistachios.
We're chopping everything around the same sort of size, okay? You know, pistachios being used, you know, not as a sprinkle, but as an ingredient. It's going to work really well.
That's it.
In you go, big boy.
Right.
The last thing that we're going to do to this salsa is mint. We're going to chop that up so fresh.
Smell it, smell it, smell it, smell it.
Whack in half a bunch of chopped mint, top up with oil, and give it a whirl.
I've got the squid here. This is literally off the boat from the fishermen. But get down, you fishmongers, get some nice fresh squid. It's been gutted and skinned. I'm going to show you a technique to make this squid grab onto flavour. I'm going to run my knife down the length of the squid, like this, to open it out like a book. It's very simple. I'm just going to score the squid at an angle, and you don't want to go all the way through, and you simply go crisscross. It's such an easy preparation, and it turns a piece of squid into something so beautiful and so amazing. And I think it's equally as fascinating as Nonna Franchina with that needle and thread, right? She was trapping stuff on the inside. We're doing the reverse, trapping the flavours on the outside. It's not a hard preparation. It's not a chefy preparation. It's just a little bit of crisscrossing. And when that cooks, it will start to fold up and those little kind of crisscrosses will open up like a flower and grab hold of Gennaro's salsa.
Just get inside.
It's going to be amazing.
It's time to cook.
I'm going to put the bigger one first. Straight on.
I fired up a barbecue, but you could cook this in a hot pan or griddle pan.
And then we're going to put our legs on.
To keep the squid tender, you have to go low and slow like Nonna Franchina, or hot and fast. This baby's ready in a minute.
And it will start to roll up. Look at that. Come on. That squid is done now, right? Very, very quick. Now, as soon as the squid comes off the grill, it goes in to our little dressing here. And you can try and unwind it, and you can put some in. Look at that. So the legs, they'll go in as well. And you just turn it, and those little scores just grab onto that fantastic salsa. Look at that.
Yeah. Leave the squid to cool slightly so it really soaks up the flavours of that salsa. And grab yourself some juicy tomatoes.
And I'm using these gorgeous big beef tomatoes. You use whatever you like. Just do me a favour, make sure they're ripe and they haven't come from the fridge. My beautiful wife always puts the tomatoes in the fridge, and it is, you know, I've got over it, but, you know, have them on the windowsill. Always better flavour. You can go cherries if you want. Look at the colours, though.
Slice through the squid to really show off the vibrant, tangy and fresh caper salsa.
The tomatoes are like your edible plate. And again, we dress them in that amazing dressing. That is for you.
Do you know what? It's the islands in a plate.
It definitely is. Right, come on, big boy.
Yeah, shall we tuck in?
We're going to tuck in.
Oh, my God. Mm. The squid is so tender.
And the capers are so fresh. The chilli gives it that lovely little hum. You know, the squid has grabbed hold of all of that gorgeous dressing. If you look, the dressing's all the way through.
Yeah.
The little curly-whirly of the squid.
I'm on a journey through America's deep south, searching for the best food to eat during the recession. I'm going to be competing in one of America's biggest barbecue competitions. So for inspiration, I've come after service to a barbecue joint which specialises in the whole hog.
Wow, this is a proper shack. Oh, you can see the smoke coming out.
It's nose to tail cooking, where nothing goes to waste.
Look at this. Hey, are you Lynn?
I'm Lynn.
What a
nice
pleasure.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for letting me come round.
I hear you want to cook hogs with us.
Yeah, is that all right?
Before Lynn hands over all her barbecue secrets, I want to sit down with her and find out how this 50-year-old family business is faring in today's economic climate.
This is a very slow time, and the sad thing is I don't see it really getting much better anytime soon. And even in the times that we have gotten very slow, we, knock on wood, we have never let anybody go. We took the loss out of our own pocket. And
So you've always made it your first priority to look after your stuff?
right. And my daughter has cerebral palsy. She's in the wheelchair. She has to have things that she needs. Mm-hmm. But it's just like health care. Here, we couldn't afford it. Just for me and my husband, you know, it was $1,000 a month.
Wow. See, that, as an English person, we have free healthcare. Free medicine, free healthcare.
And so that's unreal. That's just unreal.
Yeah. So I guess the government have got it to a point where you have to be critical to be able to get free aid.
Then you're not going to get free aid.
Right.
You know, you're going to lose everything you've got. You're going to lose whatever, your home, whatever.
Oh,
They're going to take whatever
they'll
you've
bill you
got.
for it?
Oh, yes. Huge bills. Huge, huge bills.
England's kind of looking like quite a nice place to be in a recession.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, thank God you got a great reputation.
The reputation and all, that's fine, but the man upstairs takes care of everything, and that's exactly who I rely on. But I'm going to get the boys ready and tell them
Great.
that you're ready
I'll
to
finish
cook,
up, darling.
and got your coveralls so that you can cook
Oh, an overall,
in style.
okay. Yeah, brilliant. Thanks, darling. Here in the States, if you lose your job, the implications and the impact on your life and your family's life is much, much more immense. You know, England actually is quite lucky in comparison. Do you know what I mean? It's like, never thought about it.
Behind the restaurant are the prep rooms and the barbecue pits, where I'll be part of the team cooking hogs under Pitmaster Barry.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. There we go. Oh, yeah. Good.
1, 2, 3.
There you go. Now push it.
And how long have you been here? 31?
33.
33 years.
Yeah.
So you were a boy when you started this.
Yeah.
So listen, you know that big barbecue competition down in Florida?
Uh-huh.
I'm joining the team.
Mm-hmm. Me and you probably bring back first place.
Well, I don't know about me, brother. Maybe me and you. It's like half mechanic, half butcher.
That's it. That's all you gotta do.
So basic seasoning. Any rubs, any flavourings, any herbs? Just salt and smoke.
We'll take you to the pit.
Take it to the pit.
Pit barbecuing is nothing like how us Brits do it. Here, the whole hog is cooked over wood through the night. This 400-year-old method was originally used by slaves. No surprise then that many of the great southern pitmasters are African American.
And next processing, that'll be wiring it. This is to hold the meat on while it's cooking. It won't, when it get done, it won't fall in the pit.
Okay, so basically, because you're slow cooking, it's getting really tender and
it'll
juicy,
fall
and it will
wire.
fall off. Okay.
Right.
It's very primal, isn't it? I mean, this is about as basic as cooking gets, really, isn't it? Wood. What do you use? Charcoal, wood?
Oak wood.
What is it about the pig that you love?
Cooking them slow.
That's your passion.
That's it, cooking them slow. And that's where the taste come from. To the hash pot.
All the leftover parts are used to make a thick gravy of pork, vinegar and tomatoes, called hash. Even the head's thrown in.
Put the nose flat down.
So you want me to hold that while you axe his
Yes,
nose
sir,
off?
I do.
Just remember, I've got a pregnant wife and 2 kids.
All you can do is trust the man with the axe.
So what's in here?
It's pork trimmings, the heads, the belly meat, and also the knuckles.
Right.
This is like it's like a witch's cauldron.
Go ahead and stir it up for us real good. Make sure we hit the bottom. Get everything going around.
So do you cover those pigs?
No,
You don't?
we cook just like that. That's it.
So do you sleep here?
Well, I sit pretty much right there. I don't go to sleep. I gotta watch those. If you go to sleep, you're gonna burn the meat.
My bed's in the trailer out the front, so I'm leaving the cooking to Barry. I didn't realise you had to babysit the pork.
What an experience. Great. I mean, what's amazing is like, you know, I've spent years looking around Europe at these kind of funky artisan types. And honestly, I think that these guys are about as artisan as you get. I mean, this is proper effort, proper care. So yeah, really good to see it. Good night, guys.
Over 200 teams from 17 states have competed at Pigfest.
It's like Glastonbury, but for barbecue experts.
There's $10,000 of prize money at stake. A win could be life-changing for my team.
Welcome to
You
Lake,
well?
man. Yeah, I'm doing well. How was your drive?
Yeah, good. I want to introduce you to some special friends. This is Nikki.
Hi there.
Nikki, I'm
How are
Ryan. How
you?
are you? We hug around here. Nice to
So
meet
do
you.
I. So I like that.
I'm Bubba,
Hey,
man. How
man.
you doing? Nice to meet you. Man, I've been hearing about your barbecue. I can't wait to taste it.
Whole hog, soul food cook extraordinaire.
Oh,
So
I'm in love already.
There are 7 cooking categories, and team leader Lonnie has put me in charge of 2, anything but and barbecue pork.
God, man, Everyone takes this very seriously. I've never seen so much kit.
They're strict here. Before we get cooking, every competitor has to attend a run-through of the rules.
Very serious, isn't it? There's big money here, and then there's points on the line for Team of the Year.
Time tolerances is 5 minutes before until 5 minutes after the turn-in window. And this is a zero tolerance policy.
He's tough. Jesus Christ.
It is an atomic, not to
I
say
wish we had
that they
something like
wouldn't
this in
win
England.
entries, but that was
Wouldn't
what
it be
a
awesome?
cook
There's
believed
nothing
was
like
gonna win
as
the
tough as
contest.
this in England.
1 o'clock for chicken, 1:30 for ribs, 2 o'clock for pork shoulder.
The pork doesn't have to be in until tomorrow, but I've only got 4 hours to get my anything but done.
You got it.
Our recipe of hope is going to be a southern version of stew and dumplings.
Can you put some salt in it so it'll taste
Salt.
a little bit of salt? It needs to be, it's
Mate,
just,
your mum, she got me right yesterday. Your
Trying to find
seasoning,
every
because
house.
my palate is not up to scratch out here. What we got going
To
on
our
here,
stew
brother?
base of garlic, onions, celery and carrots, we add the barbecue cheap cuts of ham hock, oxtail and chicken legs.
We'll put it in with like skin bone and all, you know, because that's where a lot of the flavour is. We've got some venison going in as well.
We add a couple of tins of tomatoes and some fresh herbs.
And the one thing that we're going to put into this that you can't bottle?
love.
Love, baby.
Our stew needs 3 hours to simmer. Once it's done, we're going to debone the meat and then stick it back on the heat.
What's that, honey?
This is a seafood seasoning that you would use for like shrimps or crabs.
Celery salt? Salt?
Black pepper, a little bit of
Black
cayenne
pepper.
pepper, a little bit of salt.
Lonnie, what's the time, brother?
It's 7:20.
Yeah, 20 after.
We've got 10 minutes to plate it up and get it to the judges.
I accept my duty. I accept my duty. To be a 2009 Lakeland, Florida Pig Fest culinary judge.
The stew is plated on Georgia's ultimate peasant food, grits.
The grits, brother. Where we going? Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Nick said don't think.
Can I have that sausage, big boy?
The cheap, tasty cuts of the stew are a nod to Georgia's soul food.
Dumplings go in.
The dumplings are retro and comforting, just like most southern food.
7:23.
And the barbecue sausage is in homage to Barry and that beautiful, simple smoke flavour.
Time, bro. You gotta run. Let's go, brother.
The KCBS scoring system is 2 to 9. A 3 means that the product went in your mouth and you spit it out immediately.
That way, honey, to your right. We're going in here, yeah?
A 4 means that you put it in your mouth and you swallow it and it comes up.
Yeah, I do want some liquor now.
Now see, I feel like a proud mama.
I don't know if we picked the right thing.
I'll find out tomorrow how the anything but places, but for now, I've got a long night of cooking pork ahead of me. Barry and I have come up with a punchy and fancy concoction to inject into our pork shoulder.
In here is a secret mixture of water, salt, cider vinegar, apple juice. And then you stick it in, squeeze, stick it in down there, squeeze. I pumped about a litre into the pork. So look, this is a secret spice rub. I mean, I've got layers of fennel seed, clove, bay, thyme, coriander seed, nutmeg. Once we put it in the oven, this is going to create what they call a bark. Like, massage it, just slap it.
Well,
Does that sound remind you of anything?
That's right.
I bet your slap sounds a bit bigger than mine.
The pork's not due in until tomorrow, but if Barry's taught me anything, it's to do it long and slow, and he reckons 12 hours will do the job. Every half hour, we spray the meat to keep it moist. 3 a.m, we glaze the meat with butter, brown sugar and honey. Then we settle in for the night. This time, I'll be the one staying up. At 6 a.m, team captain Lonnie checks in and the conversation turns philosophical.
It doesn't always have to be about money. You don't have to have a lot of money to have a great time, be with people you care about, be with people you look forward to seeing again.
It's about family and friends pulling together, isn't it? After everything's gone, as long as you've got your family and friends,
start over, right?
That's still a lot, you know. That's like all that counts, really. But
I always plan ahead, and I think that's the key to getting through anything. I mean, USA's been through tough times before, you know, recession in the 80s, depression in the 30s. What don't kill you makes you stronger.
Papa Grills team, come here a minute. Hold hands, y'all. We're gonna say us a little prayer for a win today.
Yeah.
All right, you ready? Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this gathering of family and new friends, Lord. Lord, you bless us every day relentlessly. Lord, new friends from across the pond will be family members for life. And Lord, let us kick some barbecue butt. In your son's name we ask. Amen.
Yeah.
We cooked it all night slow, off and on, so it should be tender and real good.
Team effort, man.
Team effort.
How do you think I've cooked it?
I think it's wonderful, Jamie. Come on, okay? Just put it to it right there, Jamie.
Okay.
Come with Mary.
On the barbecue, first place.
Oh, you know.
For me, this barbecue competition's been brilliant, and I've actually learnt a lot, a real lot. I'd love, out of all of these professionals, to come in the top 10 ranking. I've never won anything in cooking, ever. If we did win anything, I think I'd be quite touched.
Dessert, second place. Smokers Wild, Florida. Smokers Wild, Florida. Make your way to the stage.
Bubba Grills didn't win anything for chicken.
First place, chicken, swine, bovine, barbecue. Chicken, swine, bovine.
We didn't place well in the sauces.
Now third place sauce, hot guachulas.
For mine and Barry's pork,
Hats off to dining. Rest in butt.
despite being up all night, Bubba Grills came 29th out of 62. But there's one more category to go, and it's our last chance of a prize.
Okay, we're gonna do anything but. Anything but.
Anything but. Anything
First
but.
place. Big Knuckle Barbecue. Yeah! Big Knuckle Barbecue. Second place. Anything but. Bubba Grills with Jamie Oliver.